The 6 o'clock news starts right now.
They have the signatures. Late breaking news from City Hall. Abortion and marijuana will be on San Antonio's May ballot.
The city clerk has verified enough signatures to put the San Antonio Justice Charter in front of voters. City Hall reporter Garrett Berger joins us live from City Hall this evening with these proposed changes to the charter. Garrett.
Now, they turned in 38,000 signatures, needing to hit the 20,000 signature benchmark. Word came in just an hour ago that they had made that mark, and this should be going on the May 6th ballot. Now, there's a lot of stuff in these proposed charter changes. The heart of it is a hope to decriminalize marijuana and abortion within the city. Misdemeanor pot possession is already part of SAPD's cite and release program. But the proposed charter change would forbid even citing people in almost all cases. It would also keep officers from using the smell of pot or hemp as probable cause for a search. It would also largely prohibit SAPD from enforcing abortion laws. Now there's also a new appointed justice director position included, and it would take policies that police already follow, like cite and release for low-level offenses beyond pot, and bans on chokeholds and no-knock warrants, and set them in stone, or in some cases, even expand on them. Now, we've reached out to the police union to get their take on this. We know from previous conversations that they do plan on opposing this. Act for SA was the group that led this coalition to get this onto the charter. Its executive director saying they're excited about this, but they realize they do have a lot more work in front of them before the May election. Live at City Hall, I'm Garrett Berger, KSAT 12 News.
Thank you, Garrett. A prolific thief with nearly a decades-long history of stealing from people back in a familiar position today, standing before a judge.
Carlos Elizondo pleaded no contest to 4 felony theft charges just 2 weeks after a grand jury indicted him in several of those cases.
Dylan Collier with Elizondo's mountain of legal trouble.
How do you plead as charged by indictment in 2000?
In a brief court appearance this morning before Judge Ron Hell, Carlos Elizondo was found guilty of felony theft 4 times over. The contractor, with a knack for finding new victims despite repeated arrests and 14 theft charges in less than 9 years, striking a deal with prosecutors. His attorney, Shannon Locke, hopes it keeps his client from going back to jail.
The deal is structured so that he's going to provide upfront restitution. We're working with the DA's office and take responsibility for everything, make sure that all the victims are whole.
Elizondo has been named in dozens of police reports for accepting cash for fencing, deck, and lawn care work and then not completing the jobs. Repeated stays at the Bexar County Jail have apparently not corrected Elizondo's criminal ways.
He has experienced extraordinary stress and trauma as a result of all this. So he is certainly
as a result of his crimes.
So he's certainly not going to be doing business anymore.
Elizondo has ripped off an untold number of people. Some of those victims have had to go the civil route in search of justice. Victims,
I'm hoping to get something.
Like Lisa Fairchild, who sued Elizondo after she paid him in full for what turned out to be shoddy backyard woodwork and pallets of grass that never showed up. A justice of the peace ordered Elizondo to pay Fairchild more than $5,400 yesterday after he was a no-show for his own civil trial.
You had your chance to resolve some things and you chose not to, so.
Are you embarrassed for your family that you've put them through this over and over and over again?
Elizondo left criminal court at a brisk pace, but will soon be back for sentencing. For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier.
Now, because Elizondo has prior convictions for theft, 2 of the cases that he pleaded no contest to were charged at a higher penalty level. His sentencing date has not been finalized.
San Antonio police say a big rig driver at the center of a road rage shooting that left 1 person injured and stuck on the side of the highway. The victim found on the shoulder of I-35 near Ritterman Road. The police say he was shot 3 times and taken to the hospital in critical condition. They're still trying to determine what caused the road rage incident and shut down I-35 for about 2 hours while they process the scene. That 18-wheeler has not yet been found. What happened overnight, the first for the owner of a local driving school. He teaches kind of like a road rage 101. Basics like ignoring aggressive drivers and keeping a safe distance away from them, things that can be easier said than done. But as he tells our Jesse Degollado, those steps are necessary.
I have never heard of that ever happening.
Former sheriff's deputy and driving school instructor Mark Alonso teaches there's different types of road rage: quiet, verbal, and epic when there's a face-to-face confrontation. But for the driver of a pickup pulling a trailer to be shot 3 times by the driver of an 18-wheeler who sped off.
Obviously what happened last night was beyond even epic.
He says if the driver responsible is ever found,
ruining your livelihood over a incident that happened on the road just doesn't make much sense.
Being that he says commercial truck drivers undergo rigorous certification and background checks.
It's kind of scary to think that they can also be that emotional to shoot somebody.
And now with Manuel Garrido's 16-year-old daughter Alex working on getting her driver's license.
Road rage is something that's very common. So yeah, that definitely makes me a little bit nervous.
I tell Alex, just chill. It's all gonna be, we're all in this together.
Best advice, they say, don't let it get to you. Otherwise it could lead to who knows what.
Everything in your whole life can change in a matter of those few seconds.
Jesse Degollado, KSAT 12 News.
A small business owner is now without her main source of income. Her food truck, called Build-A-Burger, was stolen. The $40,000 18-foot trailer was not where she left it on Monday. It was stolen right outside her mother's home on the city's east side. Now, Julia Valdez is hoping that someone will return that trailer because it wasn't insured.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, it's pretty much all I have. It's my livelihood. It's what I feed my kids with.
Valdez has filed a police report. If you have any information, call San Antonio Police.
Take a live look outside with our traffic authority and TransGuide cameras. This is 410 and Broadway. All right, this is usually a very busy intersection, but today not so bad, and actually pretty nice to see the sun out on what was kind of a gloomy day. Adam Caskey will have your forecast coming up.
New at 6, the dogs sniffing out dangers at the Super Bowl in Arizona were all trained right here in San Antonio. They're some of the top K-9s in the world working for the TSA. RJ Marquez got a behind-the-scenes look at their training at Joint Base San Antonio Lackland.
It's the ultimate game of hide and seek. These canines are training to detect explosive devices at airports, other transit points, and the festivities surrounding Super Bowl week in Arizona.
Yeah, that's a boy.
We're going to have our best out there on game day protecting the traveling public.
That's yours.
We got an up-close look at the drills these dogs go through at the K-9 Training Center at Lackland. The first exercise is detecting explosives at the terminal and people passing through the screening process.
Explosives on passengers or in a static setting at an airport, could be mass trans, it could be multiple different areas.
The dogs are trained to give a passive response once they detect a suspicious substance.
If they detect something on a passenger, they'll kind of hone in on them and follow that specific person.
And this is the second part of our day at the CTC. These canines are now being trained to detect explosives on a wide aircraft simulator. This is before and after passengers get on board.
Good, good, good.
We find this canine moving up and down the aisle before he spots something out of the ordinary.
Good job, Bobby.
The dogs also weave their way in and out of passenger luggage like a running back on the field.
Stay. They don't get distracted by food. They're trained. You know, these dogs are professional dogs that operate at the highest levels.
The goal is to keep people safe this week during the big game, but the training starts right here at the CTC.
Everything from sleep to the nourishment and the food that they get, and of course the expert training is key to produce that product that's actually going to be out at the Super Bowl.
Good boy. Good job.
Reporting from Joint Base San Antonio Lackland, RJ Marquez, KSAT 12 News.
Free rides to appointments for those with substance use disorders. It's a brand new service for patients with UT Health San Antonio's Be Well Texas program. The program assists people with addiction to opioids or other substances. Directors say many patients were missing appointments because they lacked the transportation to get there. That barrier then hindered their recovery.
It was necessary to have all of those different resources available, but when you don't have transportation and you can't get there or you need to connect, yeah, that's huge.
The free rides are possible through a partnership with Lyft Health. Now a patient can call staff members and request a ride to clinical and lab appointments as well as pharmacy visits. Staff will call Lyft and have a driver pick up the patient and take them wherever they need to go.
Let's take a look outside with live cam. We just saw the sunshine. A lot of people seeing it still this evening after some good rain in some spots, Adam.
Yeah, that was a nice rain that we had. Just the way we like it. Coming and going, intermittent, off and on, not just all at once. Now, since midnight at the airport, we had 0.27, but just about double that before midnight. We had a little over half an inch of rain officially at the airport. You look at our radar, and these are the rainfall estimates from this rain event. And these are the dual polarized radar that gives us a pretty accurate estimate in between the rain gauges. And what really stands out is the west side compared to the east side. West side had significantly more rainfall than the east side. Get along 1604 here on the northwest side, near UTSA and even Brandeis High School. In this one neighborhood here, just within 1604, right along Ranchwell Cove, 2.2 inches estimated by the radar, even 1.5 along Houseman Road, just within 1604 there. And look at this, 1.5 inches measured in South Bexar County by a rain gauge. 63 right now. By 10 o'clock, we're near 50. Get ready for some temperature swings. You'll notice the changes coming up. We'll talk about that and our next chance of rain in just a bit.
All right, thank you, Adam. News around Texas now. The man accused of mass shooting targeting Latinos is pled guilty in federal court. Patrick Crusius is facing 90 federal charges for opening fire in a Walmart in El Paso back in 2019. 23 people were killed, nearly 24 injured. Federal prosecutors said that they won't seek the death penalty. The case will be sent to trial next year. Crusius could still face the death penalty, though, if convicted of capital murder in state court. He's pleaded not guilty to that charge.
The aftermath of last week's winter storm still lingers as Austin city workers continue restoring power and cleaning up debris there. Austin Energy General Manager Jackie Sargent confirms there are still thousands of people without power. More than 50 crews brought in to help with debris with Austin Resource Recovery. Austin Transportation says they've restored power to all but 5 intersections. 40% of traffic signals, by the way, were down in Austin after that storm.
Our members have insurance for incidents like this, but incidents like this also do raise insurance for our general contractors, and those costs eventually at some point will get passed to the owners.
Now passed on to all of us. A truckload of stolen construction materials worth thousands of dollars. The tiny piece of technology that helped police make an arrest in this case, and why home buyers are paying for this crime. It's tonight on the Night Beat.
Let's take a look outside with Sky 12 flying high above the rodeo ground.
Yeah, official kickoff tomorrow.
That's right.
We have a special. Ursula Perry, David Sears, Mia Montgomery, cast of thousands will be down there for tomorrow night's kickoff. And, should be okay weather for the first day of the rodeo.
I think it'll be just fine. I mean, we'll have a lot of sunshine tomorrow and temperatures will be comfortable, but then there's going to be a drop in those temperatures if you're going on Friday. Prepare for that. Actually, some noticeable temperature swings on the way with a couple of windy cold fronts, the first of which hits tomorrow night, and that's going to set the stage for a gusty and cooler Friday. And then our second cold front gives us another shot at rain, which is next week. And speaking of those temperature swings, let's just look at the mornings. And tomorrow morning, we're at 40 degrees. Then we're down in the 30s Friday morning, so back to jacket weather. And then Saturday morning, even a light freeze around sunrise before we warm up to near 60 degrees. Let's talk about our overall pattern, though, and even rain chances going forward. There's the big system that brought us some much needed rain. Generally, rain gauges seen around a half an inch. But as I showed you, in between those rain gauges, radar data estimates over an inch in some of the very fortunate neighborhoods. Deeper moisture, bigger showers and storms off to the east, especially Louisiana, northward all the way up into Arkansas and Missouri. This upper level low that's departing and moving out of here, it's going to be replaced pretty quickly by another one currently over Wyoming. This one's going to drop southward and move into place and affect us on Friday, but it's not going to give us a chance of rain. No chance of rain with this. We don't have the other ingredients available. So 0% chance of rain. That's with our next disturbance. We'll call that the dry disturbance. Just windy and cool Friday and then even lingering into early Saturday. Then our focus shifts to another potential upper level low to drop in early next week. Exact placement, of course, still a little up in the air, but critical in determining our rain chances. As usual, if we can get this down into northern Mexico, that puts us in the sweet spot. Right now, we're not quite in the sweet spot, but in a decent spot is what it looks like. So Monday night, early Tuesday, we've got that 40% chance of another round of showers and thunderstorms. 0% chance Thursday through Sunday. Monday, we could see a little bit of development in the afternoon, 30%, and then Monday night, early Tuesday, we're up to 40%. Of course, we'll take whatever we can get. You look at the drought monitor, which will be updated tomorrow, but keep in mind, it will not take into account most of the recent rainfall because it has to be in by earlier in the week in order for it to be counted. Anyway, you look at particularly Bexar County and northward up into eastern Bandera County, Kirk County. That's where we have the worst drought, but you put the radar on top of it, and it was nice to see the rain really where we need it most during this last rain event. Look at those showers passing over the most drought-stricken part, not just of our area, but one of the most drought-stricken parts of Texas in general. So that was nice to see. Obviously, we could use more. And again, that opportunity for more, the next chance, is early next week. Let's talk temperatures, though. 63-degree air temp, dew point at 35. Dry air back in place. So the relative humidity right now at 35%. Rock Springs at 57, 61 in Kerrville. Remember, we had that cold front move through yesterday evening, and behind it, temperatures with this sunshine made it into the 60s, but we're going to quickly fall off this evening and settle down near 40 tomorrow morning. So Hondo at 64, Seguin right now at 59, and Gonzales 57. But by tomorrow morning, Gonzales is talking 37, along with Sabinal and Hondo, near 40 downtown, but most areas, especially outlying areas, dipping down into the upper 30s by tomorrow morning. So a bit of a chill in the air to start the day. By the afternoon, we're back up near 70 degrees. 70 Canyon Lake, 72 Floresville, Castroville 72, around 70 in San Antonio. Some areas of fog early. I want to point that out, but I don't think it's really going to be problematic. Quickly clearing out by 8 or 9 a.m. and really nothing but sunshine most of the day. A southwest wind, gentle at about 5 to 10. That wind picks up on Friday, gusts around 35 miles per hour. So a windy Friday and cooler as well, 58 the high despite the sunshine. And then by Sunday, the clouds start to roll back in and increase. We'll still be relatively cool Friday through Sunday with those highs near 60. And then the rain chances come back again in the early part of next week. And unlike at 5, at 6 o'clock, I remembered to put the hearts on Tuesday. I was reminded by a certain female in the newsroom.
Yeah. I thought those looked new.
Yeah, they are. I happen to forget. Yep.
All right. Thanks, Adam.
All right. So they're going to start kicking off their first season.
Yes.
Another chance for San Antonio in pro football. I need to get some Brahma gear.
We do need to get some Brahma gear. It looks pretty sweet as well. So their regular season opener, their home opener is coming up on Sunday the 19th. And for a lot of the Brahmas who've played in the NFL, this is a second chance for them. And the Spurs' Zach Collins just absolutely loves the city of Toronto. Coming up. Needing a win to feel better about themselves, the Spurs will play at the Raptors tonight. San Antonio's only trip north of the border this season. After shoot-around this morning, Zach Collins said the 9-game rodeo road trip will feel even longer if they don't win and win real soon. They've lost 9 in a row and are just 2-16 since the start of the new year. Maybe that will all change tonight in Toronto, a city that Zach really enjoys.
Toronto's a lot of fun. You know, it's one of the better cities I think that we get to travel to as NBA players. So anytime you get here, you want to play well, you're excited to play.
Spurs and Raptors will tip shortly after 6:30 tonight. Highlights on the night beat. Jeremy Sohan and Trey Jones will not play. LeBron James is now the NBA's all-time leading scorer with 38,390 points. He set the new record last night in the Lakers' 133-130 loss to the Thunder. He broke the old mark of 38,387 set by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and he broke the mark with a 14-foot fadeaway J. LeBron is 38 years old in his 20th NBA season, and he shows no signs of slowing down. Last night in girls high school basketball, the Jefferson Mustangs rallied from a 14-point hole with some 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the game to beat Sam Houston 50-47 to win the District 27 5A championship. Senior Madison Guzman was clutch when it counted, scoring 9 of her 13 points in that fourth quarter rally, and she made clutch free throws to give Jefferson the lead with 1:47 to go. This is Jefferson's second district championship in the last 3 seasons.
This means a lot. I mean, to happen to only get 2 in 45 years, I mean, it's rowdy. We worked hard. This team's dedicated. It works. They have energy, and I love them.
Second one in 45 years, I believe?
It's 47. Second in the last 3. So it's amazing. It shows the kids what we work for and how all their hard work pays off.
Jefferson finished the regular season 24-7 overall and 13-3 in district. They earned the #1 seed in the Class 5A state playoffs, which start next week. Bernie defeated Fredericksburg last night 45-38 to claim the District 27 4A championship with a perfect record. This was a great back-and-forth basketball game with both teams giving their all in a very loud and crazy environment. Avery Aaron led the Greyhounds with 19 points.
As we start preparing for the playoffs, we're looking forward to hopefully getting back to the regional finals and taking care of that business that we didn't finish last year.
I just think this is just the beginning, and if this shows anything, this shows what this team is and that this team could be the team to win it all this year.
After the game, as is tradition, the seniors signed the court, marking their last game as Greyhounds at home. Bernie is 30-1 overall and undefeated in the district at 12-0. They are ready for the postseason. We made the trip to Northwest ISD Stadium today to hang out with the XFL San Antonio Brahmas. The stadium is located in Justin, which is north of Fort Worth on the way to Denton. The Brahmas wrapped up training camp today and will set the roster tomorrow. They kicked off their first ever training camp January 14th, and now they're less than 2 weeks away from their season opener Sunday the 19th at the Alamo Dome against the St. Louis Battlehawks. From top to bottom, the Brahmas are happy to get another chance to play pro football.
I'm excited to be here. It's a great opportunity for a lot of guys, in a similar situation as myself, who want to get back, to the next level. And this is a great platform and opportunity to do so.
To have this opportunity is just a huge blessing, and I want to steward the opportunity correctly and take care of business and represent myself the best way I can.
The team will host a Meet the Brahmas tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. at Alamo Beer Company. The event is open to the public.
I'm ready.
Cool.
Let's go. Brahma fever.
Yeah, we got to get
Catch
that
it.
gear.
Catch it.
Thanks, Larry.
Thanks, Larry. Our KSAT Q&A is up next. It is Black History Month, and there is an organization in San Antonio that is dedicated to preserving and sharing that history, not just this month, but all of the time. San Antonio African American Archive and Museum. And you can get involved in an interactive way here. Has something to do with IKEA. We'll talk about that. Deborah Omowale Jarman, the CEO of SACAM, joins us for today's KSAT Q&A. Deborah, thank you for being here. I want to start with first that interactive exhibit. This is Black Resistance at the Lunch Counter. That's the name of this event that's happening at IKEA. What's this all about?
Yes, so starting with the celebration of IKEA's 4th anniversary, and going all the way through March 16th, which was the day the lunch counters were desegregated here in San Antonio, we are partnering with IKEA in the restaurant to have an exhibit about that day. The lunch counters that were desegregated, we will have a special guest, Shura Wyatt, which she was one of the students that participated in the sit-in prior to the lunch counters opening. Also, Mr. Chuck Andrews, who is the brother of Mary Lillian Andrews, who was at that time the president of the NAACP Youth Council. Of course, Mayor Mary Dennis from Live Oak, and our own Mayor Ron Nierenberg will be there to kick it all off. February 13th, we'll have drumming and dancing and breakfast, and it doesn't cost a thing.
Yeah, so it's actually inside the IKEA in the restaurant area there. Talk about you mentioned it a little bit. Some of the people who were involved in that resistance in San Antonio. I mean, we're talking about correct me if I'm wrong, but we're talking about the Woolworth lunch counter downtown, right on Houston Street, I believe, is where it was. I mean, it was a significant moment. More than just in San Antonio.
Correct. So it's interesting that we could shop as African Americans. We could shop at those stores. We couldn't try on clothes, but we could certainly shop and spend our money, but we couldn't eat there. Sears was desegregated very quietly. You could go into Sears and eat with no problem. But the other stores in downtown, that was not the case. So on March 16th, 1960, actually the first store that opened that day was the Crest department store, and Woolworth opened shortly afterwards. We are going to have an opportunity here in San Antonio to recognize both of those stores. The Woolworth is a part of the new Alamo Museum. And then at SACAM, we're doing something pretty special with the Crest department store, but you'll have to come back for that.
All right.
So we're excited to be able to share that with you.
Yeah, I appreciate it giving us some context on exactly what because I don't want to assume that people know what we're talking about when we talk about the lunch counter issue in San Antonio.
Thank you.
Yeah, and I mean, SACAM is a great resource for that, going even online to a lot of the records that you all have. And when you think of an archive and museum, somebody might think, oh, this is something I can just go look at documents or look at something hanging on a wall, but SACAM does a lot more than that. And you've got another event happening. This is the Green Book Historic Marker Unveiling Tour. Tell us what that's all about.
Yes. So we have partnered with Texas A&M San Antonio for a number of different opportunities. One, our digital library is housed there, so you can go and look at a lot of our items in our archive. But the students of the Methods of Historical Research did a lot of work with us in uncovering places where Negro motorists could stop in San Antonio during the Jim Crow era in the South. And so we are going to tour a few of those spots on February 22nd. We will have some surprise guests. We have owners of property or the heirs of the owners of the property that allowed Negro motorists to be safe as they were traveling. And as someone who am old enough to remember, we couldn't just stop anywhere in the South when we drove south to visit our grandparents. I thought my dad liked the places that we stopped, and that's why we stopped there all the time. But it was because they were safe places. Well, San Antonio has a large number of those safe spots. You can see them all on our website. Excuse me, Steve.
No, that's okay, Deborah. But the Green Book, when it's called the Green Book Historical Marker, that's because these green books were published to tell people where they could stop, correct?
Absolutely. There were a number of publications, but the most popular is the Green Book, thanks to the movie that really highlighted the importance of having safe spaces as you travel. You don't think about it now, but it was very much a thing then.
All right, now I inadvertently interrupted you. I was going to ask you a question earlier, and I think you were going to bring it up about, is there a map somewhere that if people want to go to all of these places that were designated safe, in these green books? I know there are going to be markers that are up, but if somebody just wants to take a tour of some of these sites, can they do that on your website?
Absolutely. If you go to sacam.org, and at the top, under the menu, there's a section that says Learn. You click on Learn, and one of the first sub-menu items will be Green Book. And there is a map. And this is, I have to give the Office of Historic Preservation of the City of San Antonio a shout out. It was a joint effort. They are supplying the alternative historic markers. And again, the students from Texas A&M, we are just delighted that we can have all of this rich information to share with everyone in San Antonio, that we have a significant role here in San Antonio in the history of Black people in America, not just San Antonio, but in America.
And that's what I love about SACAM. You all do an event that is specific to San Antonio, the History Harvest, every year. And that always sticks with me when you all ask for oral histories, people to come in and provide photos and documents if they have them, but to step in a booth, if you will, to record their audio, their memories, like yours, of safe places to stop on a road trip. So SACAM is a resource for people to hear from San Antonians about this history.
Absolutely. And that is what we love at SACAM. It's energizing to be able to collect these stories. And you can, again, go to our website. You don't have to wait for History Harvest. We are always collecting stories. We just received the collection from Mr. and Mrs. G's Soul Food. They've been around over 20 years. And just to be able to talk to Mr. G's daughter and get that information about Mr. and Mrs. G's was amazing. We have Mario Sala's collection and T.C. Calvert. So I have to say, you don't have to be someone that you would think is famous. Your story matters. It helps us put the pieces together of our total story here in San Antonio. So don't think you have to be famous. We want everyone's story.
Deborah, I loved how you put that. Your story matters. Thank you for taking the time to talk to us about some of the special events that are going on during Black History Month.
Thank you. Have a great night.
You too.
You as well. We'll be right back.